Hi there, America. I know you're all just sitting on tenterhooks waiting to see who this crazy girl who thinks she's gonna be president is with the blue hair and the lip ring, but with those total zero views I got on my last video. But I figure I gotta start somewhere, and an introduction video to get my name out and get my message out is a good place to start. So, uh, I'm sitting here. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I am unwinding after work. And I figure, what better way to unwind than to sit and have a beer with America? So, here goes. My name is Kellyanne Bertram. I am 31 years old. I live in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I was born and raised here. I've been married for a little, or almost a decade. I have three brilliant, wild, marvelous little boys who make my life so much brighter. I work for General Motors. I'm a member of the UAW. I'm a fourth generation auto worker. And, you know, honestly, I've never considered a career or job of any sort in government or politics until now. My life goal is just to own a bar. So, you know, but I'm angry. I think we're all angry. And I'm tired of being angry. I'm exhausted from being angry. I'm already doing mom stuff. I'm already doing work stuff. And the idea of I'm just going to shut off the news so I don't have to hear about the stupid crap going on in my government anymore, that's not okay. I don't want to run from this problem. I want to fix it. You know, we all know there's a problem in Washington. The first problem we ran into was the nepotism. Everybody's got their hands in somebody else's pockets. Everybody's trying to pat their buddy on the back and give their buddy a fiver. You know, we essentially have royal families in Washington. We got George W. Bush, and then we got Hillary Clinton. And this is honestly not what our founding fathers intended in the first place. George Washington stepped down after 2 years and went back to it, or 2 terms and went back to his farm. He was still a servant of the United States people. In the War of 1812, he still came back and served as a general to help his country. But, you know, it's not supposed to be a career to be president. It's not serve this many years in the Senate and then you got a path into the presidentia. It's not the end all be all. The job of the president is, to be the commander in chief of our military, to execute the laws, to be our chief ambassador and chief of state and shake hands and kiss babies. And, playing politics in Washington has really kind of ruined it. How much time do our presidents waste on trying to campaign for their own political parties and push their own political parties instead of just trying to serve the American people? And, obviously I wasn't the only one who was fed up. We elected a reality television celebrity as our last president instead of continuing this politics game that the Washington elite have set up for us. But even that's indicative of a problem. To get into government, there's a class barrier, there's a financial barrier. Every time I've tried to sit down and work on anything that I want to do to try and prepare to be president, I'm at work, I've got my kids, my son's 9th birthday party is tomorrow, and I spent my day baking his birthday cake and preparing the games that his friends are going to play. And, there's just not really a lot of opportunity. You have to ally yourself with a political party to go anywhere. And even then, it's still about who they view as their best ally. It's not about, the people representing themselves, which is what it's supposed to be. And I'm not the only one who's happy. Every presidential election we've had has ended in protests. The government keeps shutting down during the tenure of every president we have. things are broken, and we all know that they're broken, and it's time to fix it. And honestly, you know, the more I think about it, the more I really believe that I am the right man for the job, partially because I'm willing. And there's a lot of people out there who aren't, but also because, I fit the qualifications, according to the U.S. Constitution, Article 2, Section 1.5, the qualifications to be president are natural born citizen, 35 or older, 14 years of residence. I don't fit that yet, but I will by 2024, and that's good because that's about how long I need to garner the knowledge I think I need to be president. Reading through the Constitution and taking a look at the modern day presidential job, essentially the president surrounds themselves with a cabinet of advisors. And in years past, the cabinet of advisors have been buddies of the president, or people that completely align with their views. And that's not what the cabinet should be. That's not what my cabinet will be. My cabinet will be people from all walks of life, but they'll be the best people for the job from their particular area. I'm not going to turn down someone just because of their political leanings if they're going to be the best person to advise me on that matter. And I think that it's time to take the government back to the people. And here, me myself, coming from the Midwest, the middle class, I'm gonna middle aged, I really have the best perspective to hear it from all sides. I'm willing to listen to the old and the young, the rich and the poor, the East Coast, the West Coast, the people in the country, the people in the cities, the religious, the science-minded. I want to represent all of America, and I want to execute laws for all of America. And, the job of the president isn't even to make the laws. You kind of set the agenda with the State of the Union address, and my agenda is really just to clean up Washington. I want to get the government back in the hands of the people that are being governed, instead of this rich elite that has been dictating to us. I understand that a lot of people might look at me and think, oh, she's too young, or she doesn't look professional enough, or she doesn't have the right education or the right experience. But we've tried their way. We've tried that way. And now, if I'm able to look at what the job of what president is and spend my time researching it, and this is the first video of many. I plan on spending my next 5 years, instead of sitting on the couch and watching TV or playing a video game or reading a book, I'm going to be researching. I'm going to be taking notes and devouring every piece of, recent history. I'm going to read up books on our past couple presidents and military history and foreign affairs. And I'm going to get as much knowledge as I can to basically be the best jack of all trades president I can, and have my advisors there to help me, to guide me, and to give me more specialized knowledge. Honestly, the hardest part about this for me is going to be a lack of exposure, and like I said, a lack of ability to campaign. I only have so much time in the day, and I have to do my job now. That's still a part of life. But I also, we live in the information age, and the best I can do to campaign is when I have a spare minute and I have enough to say to put a word out there, I will. And I'm gonna, be constantly keeping up to date on all of my studying. I mean, I'll go ahead and go over this with you right now. Here's my notes on the Constitution, and see, there's all my speech notes. Here's all of my notes just from reading. All I've read so far on military history is the Wikipedia article on U.S. military history, but these are all of my notes from that because it goes all the way back. And to review it, I plan on typing it up and publishing it. So if you want to read that, that will be available. I'm going to be very transparent. I'm currently in the middle of a book titled The Worst President in History, The Legacy of Barack Obama. And it's been very eye-opening, actually. And, you know, I have gone through and read up on what every single, you know, cabinet position is and what their duties are and all the different councils that the president is a part of. And, you know, it's going to be a long process. It's not something that I'm going to be able to learn everything I need to know overnight. And, you know, I know that. But I'm going to do everything I can. And if my message resonates with you, if you're sick of Washington not doing their jobs, and you're sick of not being represented properly, and you're sick of the laws being applied unevenly, and the nepotism, you know, the best you can do to help, the one thing I need more than anything else is just keep sharing the message, get the word out there. Lack of exposure is going to be the hardest thing for me to overcome. You know, look into your state's personal laws about what you need to do to get my name on your ballot. Tell your friends, tell your family, share my videos, watch my process, and just believe with me that together, America, together, we don't have to be afraid of these politicians. We don't need to play their politics games. We don't need to make friends with them. But I'm coming to Washington. I'm going to take care of the American people, my own people. And I'm going to make those lawmakers do their jobs.